Oh my goodness, we're actually on time today. Oh, we're on time. We're on time. Let me just boot up a couple of things here. Man, that background, I'm looking. I just noticed the background. Man, that's a cool background, isn't it? I kind of like it. It's very blunt. It looks huge on my screen. I don't know how much I would use it on my own, but it's a great like stream background because of the ultra wide setup we got going on stream. There's these giant ass thick fat bars on the top and bottom. Something like this works out really well, but like when it's just the face, it's a lot to take in. it's a lot to take in. Okay, that was made. That's done. People telling me not to use Delta time. That's adorable. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let me just boot up some music. We can get going here. Ugly build. There's one person who might know what that comes from, and it's in my audience. I don't know what music we're gonna be playing, to be totally honest with you. Let's do lo-fi old video game music. That must be a thing, right? Okay, I can vibe with that. That's this is Mario, right? This is the aquatic. Okay, I can dig this. I can dine on this. Give me a little lick or two. Let me just boot up one more thing on my phone so I can see chat. Oh my goodness. Chat, we have so much to do today. I'm realizing how hard it is to make a video game. So we're gonna be little speedsters today. Boop, 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 boop. Let me boot up one more thing here. There we go. All right, let's get going. I think we're ready to start the day. Okay, hold on, let me get Visual Studio going. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Yawning. Okay. I think I'm not too big on the screen. I can move over a little bit, can't I? I can move like right. Like right here? I guess I could be like right here. I think that's good. I think that's a nice. I'm mobile. All right. Let me think where we were at. I was thinking about how we're going to be doing this renderer, and if we really are only going to be having one renderer, maybe we should just make it global. In which case, how do I do that? How do I export a renderer? I know how we're gonna do it. Struct? No. Yes, struct. Struct. Global. No, export. Struct. Global renderer. Make it one word. Global renderer. And this global renderer will contain an SDL renderer pointer. And that will be our renderer. Hello, how comes the game? We're getting there, we're moving, we're learning. We're getting things done. Right now we're still working on like game logic today for like, basically the goal is today I want to get a character to move. Or maybe not even that, but like we need to get things on the screen because we spent a lot of time initializing, setting up our sprite and texture classes. And now I'm just gonna export the renderer, and then we're gonna start working on like game logic. Basically, character move, character shoot. What do we shoot? What direction? That kind of deal. Once we get game logic down, it isn't gonna be until like Thursday before we really start like looking like anything, you know? Today's just gonna be blocks. Also, Katie Bug, how are you? Cool, yes, I think it is cool. Chat, what are you doing at the bottom of the screen? How do you guys even get down there? There, you should be in the corner, right above the C++23. Okay, so we're gonna make a global renderer, and we're gonna do it exported renderer. We'll call it global renderer. Make it easy on me. Okay, and then now we're gonna be making, instead of this, we're gonna call it global renderer. Okay, boom, boom. We're gonna input none of this. In fact, we're not even gonna call this function. What we are gonna do is leave that as is because it's a void function. We don't need to return anything except an int if it fails, but we'll ignore that. We're gonna now have a renderer we can export, in which case we now come over here. So now we're gonna be importing. Do I need this in the sprite class? Do I need a renderer here? I think it goes under game logic, right? So import initialization. Actually, if we're doing this, I should also have the screen resolution in here too, huh? I feel like that's pretty important. So we need an SDL rect. Wait a second. Am I really grabbing this object? I'm so tired, but good. Nice to hear it. Boom, boom. Oh, I got Vincent and OG Final Fantasy VII. How did you even get there? It's like 10 hours of gameplay to even get to that point, Katie Bug. Or did you like load an old save or something? Did you go through that I bet, Katie Bug, I bet you didn't even try to figure out the safe. I bet you didn't even try to figure out the numbers. You're like, you know what? F that. I'm gonna Google them. I'm gonna Google them base numbers. You open the vault myself. If I create an object, this struct, can I then grab that struct information? I don't think I can. I think I'm doing this wrong. I think I just need to do this. Yeah, we'll just have the global renderer, and then global renderer is now equal to this. So now we've changed it. I think this is how we do it, because we need global renderers. So as long as I import initialization, we should be able to grab that. Struct. No, I kind of want to do the same thing with screen resolution. These are two things that are always going to be changed, and they're going to be changed quite a bit. Not changed, but they're only ever going to be one variable, right? I don't plan to have... Why doesn't it work? Hold on. What did I break? Oh. This needs changing, so we're not doing a render engine anymore. Now we have the globalization. Global variable. So shift control save. Okay. Why don't you like this? What's going on with this? Hello? Import game logic, export module initialization. Hello there, how's your game? Sleepy Mushroom, hello! It's going pretty good. I'm having a little issue with my modules right now. So this should work. So global renderer. Whoops. Does not. Render clear, render engine. Global renderer. How am I not exporting this global renderer? Why isn't initialization being read anymore? Could not open module file. Wait, what happened? Could not open module file. Why are my modules broken? Uh-oh. Well, sprites is being read. Should this be going up here? Is that what's going on? Uh-oh. Something's wrong. I don't need this anymore. So we're exporting initialization. Oh, there. No, now it doesn't work. Wait, what the heck? No global. I think what's up? I think in this case, I think it's okay to bend the rules. Save all and then build and read error message. So save all, build errors. Global renderer is an undeclared modifier. Oh, now it worked. So here's the deal. I think it's okay. Oh, I need to export this, don't I? I think it's okay to have these two global variables. I can pass them. I don't need to know about, what is it? It starts with an I, and it's something you shouldn't be doing. Or was it singulars or something? Anyway, I know, okay, but here's the thing. We are gonna be using one renderer for everything in the game, okay? This thing will be the renderer, okay? And if I have to, singletons, thank you, that's what it was. Singularities or something like that. Singletons, all right, we could use that too. It's the same idea, it's a global. So then we have screen resolution because this will never change, okay? In fact, can I make this a const? Is that I think that's a better way to do it, right? Should this be a const? I think it should be, probably. I don't know. Anyway, so that works. That works. This now needs to be global renderer. I think that's a better way to do it because we're only ever using one renderer, and it's not like if I had more than one renderer, then I would worry about it, but we're not. Create a class application store thing and then return it from initialization. Is that like an observer? So like we would have an observer that's a renderer and then like subjects that would call the observer whenever they need something rendered. Is that what you're trying to describe? Okay, this should work, right? Okay, it worked. Something didn't work. Wait, what? This should work. Okay, why isn't this sticking up? Wait, what's going on? SDL quit is undefined. Shouldn't be. No, wait. What happened since yesterday? What the heck? Okay, hold on. Game logic goes here. What's wrong with our game logic? Is equals quit. Quit equals true. Close, close. Close, close. I don't understand what's going on here. All I did was make... Oh, you know what it is? Initialization never calls game loop. I need to do this. Game loop, boom. And then we need to call, we need to import game logic. My bad. There we go. Now it'll work. Hey, we got our little bullet. Look at that. Create a class application store thing and then return it from initialization. Please learn to use the return path properly. Let me give you a B paste. Okay, I don't know what a B paste is, but until that gets... Oh, that's what you mean by a B paste. Oh, based. Struct, application, renderer, bullet sprite, window, run application. Oh, so it's like pair, but better. Oh, that is based. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's some good shit, chat. All right, I'll get behind that idea. So export struct. No, not export struct. Struct application, where the definition will be a renderer. Okay, that is pretty cool. Thank you. A rectangle. I thought about doing this, but I think I made the problem of trying to export the struct. And you're right. We should just return application that information. Oh, and you know what? We don't even need to, oh, I get what you're saying. So SDL, renderer pointer, local renderer. And now we can just create the application as a return value. Okay. Okay, that's based. I don't want the window though. You need export to use it in CLL learning. Export application initialization. Wait, what? You need export. So I need the export here or here? Huh? Export application initialization. Oh, this. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's what this is. So when we call the initialization function, it returns this. This does not necessarily have to be exported, correct? Okay, so let's try that. Let's return application as defined by local renderer. And, wait, I don't define the resolution here, do I? Hold on. Copy that. Paste that. SDL rect. And we're gonna call it local resolution. And we're gonna do, oops, L resolution. I don't know why this window, oh, semicolon. And then we define L resolution, and I think that's what we do. This no longer needs a definition. Okay. Return value type does not match the function type. Oh. There we go. So now this will return that struct. So now, what do I do with it? We did import it, so we do have this information now. I could just make game loop accept that as a... Actually, what do I do with that? Hello, Gary. How's the game going? Going great. We made our renderer a global struct called application, put that with the screen resolution. We now have that as a return value on the initialization. So I guess we take line 6, export, line 11, change void to application. Oh, we do have to export both. Okay, based. So we do have to export both. Okay. So now everyone can use this application. Gotcha. As long as they export. So I think what we do here, chat, believe it or not, I think we don't do initialization here. I think we just call game loop. And the reason why is because this can now call on the very first line initialization. And now we have our own struct. Application is application screen info is equal to that. What? Okay, I'm doing something wrong here. don't I have to create a new application in the game loop and then this will have this information here? Because it's gonna return something, but what does that value even mean, you know? Oh, I see, I'm dumb. Okay, I got you. So it needs to be... No, I don't understand. Because then I thought I could do like screen info dot global renderer or something for my renderer, calling that. But I can't because application is undefined. So how do I actually grab the information out of initialization? This is why I want global variables. Application equals initialization in main. Save the file. Oh shit, you're based. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna call this application. We'll just call it application, make it easy. Okay, now it's equal to these values. So I think what that means, in fact, I just want to call it app. We'll just call it app. So now I kind of want to call this event, just knowing what we're going to have to do with it later. Okay, so now we have this. So when we need to call our renderer, now we're going to do app dot global renderer. Aha! Okay. Now we're just going to do app dot. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. Now we're roasting some marshmallows. All right, chat. Let's make bullets. Now, we've made sprites. So I'm thinking. I've been thinking. This way we organize this project. Let's open up Paint. Flashbang. So, here's what I'm thinking, okay? We'll have just the game. Our game, how do we organize this shit? What I'm thinking is we have the texture class, okay? This will take care of all textures. As a result of that, we go down and we make sprites out of those textures. So, for example, a texture could be the entire bullet sheet of every bullet in the game, you know? Like 1,000,000 bullets. A sprite takes that list of however many bullets, cuts out one of them, and then makes a sprite out of it. It's the image of the bullet. Then, from there, we also have separately the collider engine. This collider engine takes care of all collisions in the game. And then we make 3 things. We make boop, boop, boop. You guys don't see that. Boop, boop, boop. We make enemies. Boop, boop. We make bullets. Boop, 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 boop. We make the hero. And I think that's how we're gonna like make the game. So we have our texture class responsible for making all textures. We then have sprites based on those textures and a separate collider engine that must be consulted anytime these textures or sprites interact with each other. Then you have our hero, bullet, and enemy that are going to need both sprites and collision information. So that way, when they interact with any of the others, like bullets, will be shot by both the hero and the enemy, but different kinds of bullets can do whatever, right? And from there, we can kind of give it information. So like enemies have like a certain amount of shots they can take before they die, but it's going to be a different kind of shot system, take damage shit than the hero has, I think. I think this is like the basic setup, right? So we made the sprite class, but we still need to make the texture class, I think. Or is that what we did? What did we even do? Okay, so we have a sprite class that grabs the texture, and when you make a sprite, it needs the texture, it needs the rectangle sprite cutout. Okay, yeah, so this is the sprite. So this is all the information we need in order to grab the sprite off of the texture, and here we built the texture from scratch with all this information just to test it. So now we're gonna need to make that texture class today, I think. I think that's what we're gonna do. So let's make a new module. Add a module, and we're gonna call this textures. All right. SDL, a nice and oldie, but a goodie framework. PBS, hello! I haven't seen you here before, hi. You kind of don't need a texture class since you don't have a lot of textures or do streaming. Don't I? Because I'm gonna end up with quite a few. I have one texture for all of the bullets in the game. So I'm gonna need to reference that like goddamn 20 times. And we're gonna need the sprites out of all of them. Then, but I do want to decouple sprites and textures, right? Because the sprite is gonna get rendered a lot, and the texture, I only want loaded once at start. So I think I have to separate them, right? Gary, how are you? Corky, hello! Okay, so we have module primary. Then we have the module. So we're gonna need to import quote, no. It was quote SDL header, right? Oh, gosh, had a fly in my face. SDL header. Was it that? Hold on, I forget. Oh, it is crosses. Shoot. Why does that keep stop? Import SDL.header semicolon import image SDL image.header import. Actually, that might be it. Because I don't care about like the screen size or anything, right? All I care about is just the texture. Yeah, I don't need the renderer either. It's just, oh, I will need the renderer. Yeah, I do need to import initialization. Which is in capital letters. Okay, now we are going to be exporting SDL texture. Create a texture. I don't think we... Oh, we do need a parameter. We need const character pointer path. And that's going to be our path to decide. Because all I want basically is to create a texture with some path on it. Do we also want to... Oh, does it need to be a pointer? My backseat advice is to make the game first, let the architecture emerge. If you need a texture class later, you can add it. Well, we're adding it now. I do agree with this. I'm doing it in my own game. Oh, Lucas! This is the in-out class for loading texture data. Yeah, basically, because I don't want to, whenever I make a sprite, I don't want to have to keep calling image load texture, which is like loading the entire texture and then cutting out a rectangle out of it, which sprites will do, cut out the rectangle, but I don't want it to load the image. So basically, whenever we load create a sprite, the idea is that I don't even know if I want to put render in the sprite. I kind of want to put render when we render individual bullets, but we can go over that later. But I want it to be able to just not load the sprite. That's the goal here. And it's going to be a pretty short class, by the way. So it's going to be SDL texture pointer local texture is going to be equal to image load texture oh, you know what? This is also going to need the renderer. And now, when we grab that renderer, it's going to have renderer path. No. Fuck. What's the phrase? Oh, God. I can't just put path, right? Oh, I think I can. Oh, right, because it's not a string. Yeah. And then return L texture. And I know this is super obnoxious, but I kind of want to also throw in a rectangle to change the total size of the sprite sheet. Is that stupid? It might be. You can use SDL texture pointer. It works the same way as texture class, except it doesn't clean up itself. Now your game's simple enough that you can load all textures during initialization and manually clean up and close. You can use SDL texture pointer. It works the same way as the texture class, except it doesn't clean up itself. Well, I think we can load some more info into this, right? Like, when we load the bullet sheet, which is this, right? When we load this bullet sheet in, we can export the... Can I move it? There we go. When we have our bullet sheet, right? The idea is that if I want to alpha out all of the black on the screen, would I do that when I load the texture, or would I do that when I load the sprite based on the texture? And I think I want to load it when I load the texture. I can put that into the class, right? And just never worry about it again. What other info do you want to be in a texture class? Well, I think I want the ability to alpha out all of the colors when I create the texture, so I never have to worry about it again. And, which is the color black, by the way. And, like the bubble, I can like make separately for like its own thing, but whatever. And I want the ability to change the total rectangle size of the bullet sheet. Or I guess it doesn't matter, does it? Because every texture is going to be a little different. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And if nothing else, hey, we now know. Oh, also, can I measure this? What does that even do? What can I can change the texture here? Oh, damn. This seems like a terrible graphical editor. Checkerboard, animate background. I don't know why I would do this over like GIMP or something. Anyway. So I think that's what we're gonna do. So we're also gonna take the alpha value, which is a uint8 code. We'll call it alpha. And then now we're gonna change L texture is going, no, SDL set color key, which takes a surface, an int, and a uint32. Oh, no, that's for surfaces, not for textures. Oh, is there a better way to do that? Set texture color key? Is that a thing? Oh, of course it isn't. Set texture color blend alpha. There it is. Hey, what do you need? You need a texture and a uint8. All right. So then we're going to take path and we're going to take, take L texture and we're going to take alpha. So now, oh, wait, fuck, not alpha. Oh, no, I'm not alphaing out the whole texture. I'm alphaing out, that would go in the sprite. No, I'm sorry, not alpha. Color key. you're trying to key out one of the colors. Okay, my bad. You can include an offset X property in the texture class for animated textures if that fits the needs of the game. Not in our case, P-Boyer. We're not quite there yet in my C++ SDL journey. I don't want to do that yet. We're not animated. I mean, we can have animated textures. We've messed around with it. I know we can do it. It's just not in this specific case. So we don't need an alpha code. We need a color SDL key. I need to like key out a color with a texture though. I don't want to make it a surface. Set color key. That's for surfaces though. Maybe I can fuck around with textures on this. Modulate color, modulate alpha, unlock texture, update texture, texture access, target texture, blend, color. Wait, did I only ever learn how to color key a surface, not a texture? Wait, what function do I use to color key a texture? I thought you could do that. Is it color? Get texture color mod. Okay, hold on. What's that doing? Oi, hello, Steph. Steph-a-sot, hello. I don't know how to do color key with STL renderer. It seems like Lazy Food Tutorial only did that in software surfaces. Yeah, let's find out. Get color texture. Yeah, so load a texture, red, green, blue. The texture to query, a pointer filled in with the current red, green, blue. What? Get the additional color value multiplied into render copy operations. What? Set texture color. Set an additional color value multiplied into the render copy operations. So basically change the color of the texture. That's what this means, right? When this texture is rendered during the copy operation for each source color channel is modulated by the appropriate color value. Okay. So that changes the whole color. Color modulation is not always supported by the renderer. It will return -1 if color modulation is not supported. I know how to make alpha. How do I make a specific color alpha on a texture? Do I have to like combine a few text or functions? What I'm thinking is that we grab the color off of the texture, which in this case is black. We set black to alpha. I don't know. I don't know how to do color key with SDL renderer. It seems like Lazy Food Tutorial only did that with surfaces. What are you doing? We're trying to take a texture and apply an alpha to it, but I only know how to do that with surfaces. So this sets the alpha of the whole texture. When this texture is rendered during the copy operation, the source alpha value is modulated by this alpha value according to the following formula. The alpha modulator is supported. Yeah, so basically it makes the whole texture alpha. I could change the whole color of the texture. Maybe this does go into sprites then. But you have the same problem, right? Is that you're not blitting surfaces that have alpha keyed backgrounds. I'm rotating in my chair because I'm trying to think. So just pushing this off to the sprite class doesn't actually solve our problem, does it? It's going to be on texture creation, and then once that's alphaed out, the black is. He wants to turn black pixels into transparent for his sprite sheet textures. Yeah, basically. On the creation of the texture, alpha out all that pink or purple or black in this case, the background. So that way when I make sprites, I don't ever have to worry about it. I can just grab it. I'm just thinking, even if we push this off to the sprites though, and that handles the cutting every time and making something alpha every time, which I don't think it should, but if it does, it still doesn't solve the problem because the texture itself needs alpha. I guess I'm going to Google it. I just never ran into that problem before. SDL, how to color key sprite sheets, textures. Color key and SDL texture, SDL development. 2010, this is 14 years old, holy shit. I am porting a project from SDL 1.3 to 1.2, or from 1.2. I need to use a color key for my sprites, and when I do, SDL create texture from surface uses the color key info in SDL surface. How do I use SDL texture with color key? Temporary SDL load bitmap file, so in our case, load PNG. SDL set color key. Okay, so that's a surface. Load bitmap is like a surface, I think. Hold on. SDL load BMP. Pretty sure this is like a surface thing. Load bitmap RW from file. Load bitmap from file. Well, what does it make? It makes a file? Oh. So, am I creating a texture out of a surface in the end? Set color key, okay, yeah. Sprite is equal to SDL create texture from surface. Oh, I am! Oh, okay. So I need to make a surface that loads the PNG, which it might end up being a bitmap in the end. So I'm use image load to load to surface. Okay, well, either way. So we're loading a bitmap or PNG, probably a bitmap in the end, to a surface, but we're not going to blit it. We're not stamping it anywhere. We're just creating it. Then we set the alpha key or whatever else we want to do to change the texture or change the surface that we're creating the texture from, and then create the texture from the surface. Ah, image load allows you to use PNG. Yes, because we initialized it. Okay, that's cool. So now, fuck this. So we have our path, we have a renderer, and we have an alpha value. Fuck the alpha value. We don't even need that. So now, just use image load. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so SDL surface, and we're gonna call this local surface, is gonna be equal to SDL, image load, not texture. Is it PNG RW? Hold on. Image load, const character, so the path. Wow, based. Oh, because we're not rendering, right? That is having issues because, oh, it's a pointer. Okay, and then we're going to be taking L surface, and it's now going to be, oh no. SDL color, set color key. Then this function will require L surface, an integer. Wait, what does this guy do? SDL true. What does that mean? SDL true is an enumerator value. An enumeration of Boolean values. SDL true is a value for which is equal to 1 or true and false. Every function, structure, class will work with SDL bool. Okay, well, that answered fucking nothing. Let's look up SDL color key. Let's see. An SDL structure to update, SDL true to enable the color key, SDL false to disable the color key, and then transparent pixel. So what you would do is if you really wanted to turn it off without always having it on true, you would have like a Boolean value of like set like color key background or something like that. No one uses C bool. Well, this does. And then we key out the transparent pixel, which in this case is going to be black because that's why it only needs one color, I think. So now, set color key, that is going to be true always, because we are, as far as I know, we're always, all of our textures are going to have backgrounds to blight out. And if not, we can make it a Boolean value later. And then now we're going to be blighting out black, which is... it's 0, right? That's all I'm ever blighting out. And then, or I guess 0xFF if we want to be nerds. And then SDL set, no, SDL texture pointer L texture is equal to SDL create texture from surface, like it fucking knew what I wanted, thank you. Grab the renderer, which is renderer, grab the surface, which is L surface, semicolon. Okay. And then we return it. Oh God. Okay. So we grab the surface. Wait, hold on. Let me think. We want to create a texture. What are we doing? We need a path that it's going on and then a renderer. Then it's going to grab that path that it's going on, load a surface, create a new surface to do it. Oh, we need to delete the surface. Oh shit. Delete. No. Is it L surface equals null pointer? Or is it delete L surface? Chat, which one's more appropriate? I don't know how to delete very well. Wait, I'm new to this. Hold on, C++. I need to delete the surface pointer, right? Otherwise it's floating, I think. This might be a bug downstream. Your textures can't use the color black. Have you considered using a different... Well, okay. For our sake, that's fine, right? It's only true dark black that gets, like, cleaned. It's not like... If it's, like, even 1 degree off of hard black, it's not getting alphaed. That's all that I care about. You need to give an option to load a texture without color keying. It may be another function overload. SDL destroy surface. Thank you. SDL destroy surface. Chat. God, you're so good at this. It's almost like some of you are in school for this shit. SDL destroy window surface. Thank you. Which requires a window. Okay. Destroy surface, which doesn't exist. SDL destroy free surface. Thank you. I don't know why it'd be called not that, which requires L surface. Okay. And it has to be deleted because otherwise it would be a floating pointer. Now we don't need to delete texture, right? Because the texture we're returning, and then that will exist as the new texture we're going to be making sprites off of. So that's fine. But we do have to delete the surface because that's a floating pointer otherwise. Or is it a floating pointer? I guess it's not a floating pointer, but it's like a pointer in memory that doesn't need to exist anymore. SDL free surface. Sorry, my mistake. No, no problem. Jeez, you're helping me. Thank you for clarifying. No probs, no probs. SDL destroy surface is SDL3. Oh, you're using C++? Yep, C++ 23, baby, with modules. Hell yeah. That's what all this import shit means. Look, we're importing a C-based library. Big hype, big hype. Slide charge. Hello, I haven't seen you here before. Okay, so is this all I need? I think this is all I need. I don't need a rectangle. That's all other shit. Okay. Let's try it. So this is still going to be in the bullet information. So that when we create a bullet, it's going to borrow, it's going to make a sprite. All that shit's going in the bullet class. So that'll be later. What are we doing here? We're going to delete this. Not all of it though. Just that. M484. Well, I'm going to copy paste this because I'm going to need it in a second. Actually, we're going to need both of these. Okay. Is that in the right order? I should have the renderer first. Hold on. This should be on this side. All of the functions, I just like having the renderer first because we just use it so often. Okay, that's going to require the const character pointer path. I need to export it. Everything is exported. Control Shift S. Okay, let's see if this works. So delete this. Who followed? Hey, Boyer, thank you. PBS man. I like Big Bird. Hi, I'm new. I want to learn more about making games. Well, hi, I'm new to C++ too. Welcome to the club. We're on what day are we on? 24. Holy shit. I have spent 70, well, yeah, I guess around 70 hours of learning C++ and SDL, and we're putting our method to the madness, and we're making a video game. All right, so we're making a new texture. Again, most of this information would not be in the game loop. It's just there. We have a rectangle. Okay, so now we're gonna call, oh, we need to import it. Import textures. I'm guessing when we have our main game loop, we're not actually importing a lot of these, because a lot of this is gonna get moved to like import bullets or enemies or something. And then, chat, I have a super weird question. Can I make a module whose sole purpose is to export like groups of modules? Like, could I have like import textures, sprites, and something else, and then just have it like graphics or something, and then just have import graphics? Dude, that would be based, okay? All right, so now we're gonna have a new thing called create a texture. Good job, Gary. We're gonna call the renderer, which is app.globalRenderer, the path that it's on, which is that. Good job, Gary. Way to retype shit. So that's the path of the image we're going to load that creates that texture. Then we're going to create a sprite out of that. So if everything worked. Wait, what are we exporting? An SDL texture pointer. Bullet sprite sheet texture is equal to that. Now we're going to make a sprite of it. So if everything works, we should have a black background and a single red bullet on the screen. That is how you make a goddamn texture class. Now here's the real base take, chat. Technically, that black background around the bullet, these little 3 pixels on each side, those shouldn't actually be black. They should be transparent. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to make it bigger, 60 by 100, just real quick. Uh-oh, that was not correct. Bullet size. That's what I wanted. Okay, so technically speaking, these 3 black pixels on each side of the bullet, on each corner, are not black, they're transparent. So let's quickly render the bullet. So before we do that, let's create the background. So SDL set render draw color, make it equal to app global renderer 255, 255, 255. I should just memorize my color. I should just memorize teal. SDL draw render draw rectangle. The rectangle being the renderer. I should just have a type def for just, instead of global renderer, just be like R. Set render draw color. Yeah, I did that, I think. Did I do it right? Set render draw color. Yeah, and it takes an alpha value, right? Yeah, no, I did it right. Yeah, render clear. Okay, so then I also need the rectangle size, which is app dot screen resolution, which, believe it or not, is in fact the entire screen. Okay, now if everything worked, I think. Why doesn't this work? Why is this? Oh, the address? Oh, that's cute. Okay. If this worked, we have a white background with a giant ass bullet on the screen with keyed out corners. It did not work because this needs a (0) for the alpha value. Oh, fuck. Okay, I screwed up somewhere. You don't need to draw fill rectangle. Clear is gonna clear with the color you set. Really? Oh, is that what render clear does? Oh, yo, that's... Huh. Well, I'll be. You learn something every day. So this is just cleared out every time. So now the bullet's an issue. So something's wrong with the color key. Why? That's not a red squiggly. It's because the IntelliSense is having trouble reading the enumerated value. I've learned to say that again and again. So something's wrong with the color key. Is it this line? Should this be just be 0? Oh, there you go. Black is 0x00. Oh, so I was color keying out white, I think. Or maybe that's FXFF. There you go. We now have a sprite being rendered on the screen, built. Oh my God, I'm sorry about the crunch here. There we go. Built out of a sprite sheet that's actually pretty big. And this bullet, by the way, is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pixels by like 12 or something. And we just made it really big. Okay. Wow, that was very successful. And all we had to do was create a... In fact, we could even save time here. Well, whatever. You guys know what I'm trying to do. So basically, we now have a bullet. So now we kind of need to make the bullet class, right? That handles all this shit. So now we made a texture based off of our class. Then we use a sprite class to make a sprite out of it. Wow, that worked out really well. What do we do next? That's it. That's all I needed. Do I need a whole class for this? Or a whole module? Sorry, a whole module for this? I don't know, but we did it. Sorry, I keep saying class. I should be saying module. Wonderful. Thank you, P-Boyer. Oh, you're gonna fit in gray here, P-Boyer. It looks like a 20 rupee from Zelda. Ah, excuse me. That's not a rupee. It's a goddamn lemon. Know your memes, okay? Don't make me rotate it for you. This is probably a waste, right? To make a whole, like, would you have made a whole header for this texture? I don't know. I don't know if it was worth it, but I did it. I was thinking like maybe we could just put it under the sprite sheet module, but I guess we don't have to. All right. Now, new goal. Let's make a new module. And this module is going to be basically what I want is like create bullet, call for this rectangle, call for this rectangle, call for this texture, yada yada. Basically handle all of this in one giant module. But let's ask ourselves this, chat. It should probably be in SDL libs module. Oh, because it's like almost exclusively an SDL thing, isn't it? Oh, that is kind of cute, isn't it? Okay. Maybe what's up? Maybe. I think you have the right idea. Okay. So I guess I'm going to ask you guys this as general programming practice. So we're going to make a module that requires a lot of inputted information in order to like what's the best way to approach this, right? I need to make a bullet. It's going to require like a path. It's going to need a renderer. It's going to need like 2 different rectangles. It's going to need to like be a texture in the end, probably. It's going to need like the fucking everything, right? So if it needs like 20 different inputs to like make the thing, what's the cleanest way to do this? Should I make a module that has like 5 different texture functions or whatever that I call in like the game loop to make everything? Or like in the loading screen, whatever. So it loads everything. honestly, probably I'm going to try to do what I can to get all of this out of the game loop and just have game logic here. But how do I like do this correctly? Do I even care about having this? It's not like we need to make this all in the game loop. I can just have it in bullets, right? I could just make, what if I just make a module that contains all of the information about bullets in the entire program and then just only ever export out like the bullet struct that we make? Is that stupid? You could write bullet class right here in game logic. No. Lohi Royal, hello. Brownie man, hello, hello. Have a bullet, take a sprite to stick with your goal of decoupling the texture. Oh. Yes, hold on. Sorry, flashbang. So this was our like setup, right? So we have our texture, our surface. I guess we should just follow this, right? So if I'm making a bullet, oh, maybe we need to start worrying about collision next. No, I think we should make bullets first because we can't test collision without having like things to collide with. So we have our surface. I think you're right. I think this texture module should only ever touch the surface module or the sprite, sorry, surface, the sprite module. So I think the sprite module import should be the only one that imports this. So when we make our bullet module, we need to call this, and that's it. And then from there, the sprite can grab whatever textures we need, you know? What is this alphabet soup? It's not alphabet soup. It's an alphabet plan, okay? Look, see, we have textures and surfaces and colliders and the hero, the bullet, the enemy. And basically, once we have everything here, we can worry about stuff like, you know, like, I don't even want to say scoreboard. Like, whenever I think of like scoreboards and shit, maybe this is the wrong way of thinking about it. Whenever I think of like scoreboards or something, I think of like who watches the watchers, you know? I just think of like this angry god who like judges everything with like his arms crossed and he's just like sitting on a throne distantly watching. It's like, I'm gonna watch you motherfuckers. All right, whoever collides into what gets the score point. Like, that's how I think of it. So maybe we should just make this like a giant observer or something, I think. I don't know if any of this makes sense, but like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I almost want to think like every sort of like life-based thing should be completely independent of like these. And basically whenever there is like a collision, that's what that watches, right? And then it like updates the life. But I don't know if that should be an observable thing or not. Oh my God, Gary is learning about dependency. Wait, in a good way or a bad way? Is that a good thing or a bad? Did I do good? Or was that like dumb? It's a good thing, good thing. Ah, thank you. Gary is graduating from coding to software engineering. Okay, let's calm ourselves here, okay? I barely know trigonometry, all right? I still don't know what inverse tangent means. Okay, stop distracting me. All right, here's what we're gonna do. This should never import textures. The only reason I have this is because we need to create a texture here. So here's what we're gonna do. This sprite sheet should be the only thing that creates the texture. So maybe we should make a function in here called void call create a texture. Maybe not void, but I think we kind of have a function in here that calls that texture class whenever we want to create a texture. Because I think when we do, well, we're only going to need to make one texture, right? Just the bullet sheet. Well, for bullets. The bullet class does not give a shit about what it looks like. It just has, is this an object that I'm gonna be messing with? Okay, thank you. And then it goes off and defines what bullets do. It doesn't care about how it looks. So I'm trying to think about how I can like only have this be called by sprites. And that's it. Did I manage to fuck that lineup? How did I even do that? For a more consistent framework, consider loading all your common textures at game startup. I think it has to in order to like run, right? Yeah, right? Yeah, because it runs initialization immediately, right? That's how it works. We call game loop function first. It runs initialization. It creates the app, which is like the renderer and everything we're going to be passing along. And then this stuff shouldn't even be in here, so it's going to look like that later. This is just the game loop. So as long as... Oh, wait, when is it going to run that? Oh, that's a good question. Maybe we do stuff like load all textures and just have it be like an incidental thing here. Load all everything. We just have one giant load all function we call, and incidentally during the initialization, and then we run with everything else. And then at that point, all of this shit is just loaded. I guess that's a fine way to do it, right? Call it in initialization. Yes. You already have that function. You now should write the bullet class. Yeah, I guess. Okay. I mean, I can. Wait, did I just delete that? Okay, good. I don't want it. I just wanted to be sure. Okay, let's do it. Let's make the bullet class. All right. Or sorry, bullet module. Add module. And we're going to call this bullets. Is it good to create the bullet module before you make like the enemies module? I don't know, but we're doing it. And then we're going to have it be a module. It's going to be exporting that name. Import. We're going to need SDL dot header. Import SDL image dot header. Import sprites. I guess, well, I don't want this to touch textures though. Maybe as part of calling to create the sprite, we could just call the texture in here as well. I just don't want to import textures anywhere but sprites. That's kind of the idea there. Greedy loading, yes. Is that what that's called? I suggest having load textures method before the game truly starts. Maybe. I don't quite know the difference between a method and just a function besides like naming convention. Why is there a function called call create a texture? Wait, where? Wait, I deleted it. Chat, that doesn't exist anywhere. You're fucking with me. Okay, that's create a texture. Okay, I deleted it. Fuck you, chat. You're trying to make me paranoid. Okay, so this is, I don't know if it's going to be void or not, but we're going to make, create a bullet. Ooh, baby. Let's do this. So let's think. What do we want bullets to be? Bullets need to be able, well, let's do paint again. All right, that's our image. Say goodbye to the image. Okay, so what do we want bullets to be? Bullets... I can't make this bigger. Oh, I can. Based. There we go. Okay, so bullets need to be a few things, okay? So bullets, let me get my pen out here. Bullets need to be 1. They need to be able to hit. That's too, hold on, that's too advanced. They need to be able to have defined borders. And what I mean by that is when we have, yeah, greedy generally means to do every possible thing. Oh, Jesus. Don't load all the textures, just the most used ones. Dude, I'm gonna be leveling with you because the bullet sprites are all based on one texture. We're gonna have like 3 or 4 textures in the whole program, okay? It's gonna be fine. Bullet's not gonna need STL image because it's not gonna load a texture from a file. No, it needs STL image because it's gonna call sprite. Oh, but it doesn't need image because it's not loading an image from a file. Oh, that's so smart. Okay, I smell what you're cooking. All right, I feel you, I feel you. I think it needs audio though. So it needs to find borders, and then 2. What about one of those steps is bullet needs to move? Move up. Move able? Move up. Step 3. So it needs to have defined borders. It needs to be movable. What else does it need to do? What does a bullet need to do? Needs to have, well, the start point is going to be defined by... The start point is going to be defined by the attack. I'm not worried about like start point, end point, all that shit. In fact, do I want it to be... Oh, I guess bullets are going to have different like classifications. Because what I'm imagining, what a defined border for collision. So the idea here, to pull up our little sprite sheet again. So the idea here is that we're going to be having different sprites, right? How do I zoom in? So imagine if we have, or I hate this image editing with the software. So imagine if we have this little bullet right here, this little cross thing. Now, it's been pointed out to me before, but I think there's a really good, oh, I like how it's like pixely. I like that actually. So see this like bullet right here? This is what I mean by we need to distinguish between the sprite, which is this square here. That's the whole sprite we're going to be rendering for that. So the whole image behind it with everything else over here, that's the texture. The square is the sprite. This is the hitbox. So for complicated game design reasons, you don't want the whole sprite to be hittable. Otherwise, it's like an issue, right? Defined border, collision, rectangle. Thank you. That's what I meant. A bullet also needs to have meaning in the game world. Well, we'll get there, but we're just trying to like lay the groundwork for like a lot of other systems we're going to be putting in. So like bullet speed, I don't know if we want bullets to be that. I feel like that's more of an attack thing, isn't it? Because different bullets, or the same bullet, like this shuriken looking one here, right? Or this like Mega Man looking blast here, you know? These are gonna have like different speeds depending on the attack, you know? Like it could be we shoot out like 5 of these in a wave together, and sometimes they're really fast and sometimes they're kind of slow. So I don't want the bullet speed to be dependent on the creation of the bullet, because that's more of an attack thing. I just want bullets to have collision of some kind that we can define on creation of the bullet. Bullets need to have velocity and acceleration, rotational velocity and acceleration, and an alpha. Don't need the alpha. I don't want to get that fancy. I know it's possible. We can do anything in programming. I'm saying scope. Let's not have scope creep, okay? Well, alpha, because what if you have something like... I'm trying to look for like an example here. Like, what if you have this like snowflake looking sprite, right? And you shoot like, you have like Cerno or like some other winter character like shooting a bunch of them. Wouldn't it be kind of cool to have like, I don't know, like another like less transparent layer behind these as well, in like one cone blast or something? Give it like a cool effect. I would see the use for there for like a little bit of transparency, because it's like snow. It's not perfectly like that. We're not going to do that though. I don't see it necessary for the knowledge we're going to do. I could do it with my current skill set, which means there's not much to learn there. So what I mean is, like, when I create this bullet, I don't care how it's going to be used. I care that when I use it, it does everything I want it to. The attack module, like what I'm imagining, chat, is something like this, is like later on when we do our attack module, I want to be able, or in our game loop even, I want to be able to be like, okay, I am ready for the boss character to cast the following. Cast attack, and it's going to take the requirements of, well, maybe not less than, maybe like Nova. Yeah, just whatever. Attack, Nova for the kind of attack, Shuriken for like the kind of bullet we're gonna use, 2.5 for the speed of the bullet, heat seeking. Oh wait, it's an enumerator or whatever. Heat seeking, no. Something like that. So whenever I need the attack, and and then like repeat 3 or something like that, where it'll repeat 3 times. Like that's what I'm imagining an attack is gonna look like, right? So kind of attack, kind of bullet, speed of the bullet, heat seeking, no, repeat 3 times. That kind of deal, right? Bullet is like a sprite. It needs to know its position in the world for rendering. Not really. That's what the sprite is for. The bullet, I'm imagining, is more like when we grab this bullet or when we create it, I want to be able to know, okay, Mr. Collider, when this square of that bullet here, because this is the whole sprite for the bullet. Now we have our bullet itself, and that bullet is going to have a collision here. It's going to maybe have some rotational aspect to it. It could be that it rotates on its own as a bullet. That could be a thing. The bullet just needs to know where the hitbox is. That's what I'm thinking. As we're talking about this, is there much to like the individual bullet besides its hitbox? I almost wonder. You know what? There could be. Because what if that heat-seeking thing, what if that only applies to missiles or something? That's not a good missile. I hate these missiles, actually. I hate them a lot. Oh, Jesus. There. What if the character casts a fireball and the fireball is heat-seeking or something, right? What if I want all fireballs to only ever be heat sinking? I don't really like that behavior. I guess that could be defined in the bullet, that if you shoot like a fireball, you implicitly always want it to be heat seeking. Seems like design wise, like if you're handing this off to a designer, you'd rather them just choose. It encapsulates the collider and the sprite. Yeah. So I guess my question is, am I overthinking this? When I load the bullet sprite, should I just have the collision detection in the sprite module? Is that like a better, healthier way to think about this? Or do I not want the sprite to contain any information about collision? I don't want that. No. So like, what's the practical reason? Also, hi Nordel2, I haven't seen you here before. Your name reminds me of the Nords from Oblivion, who have the same voice actors as the orcs, and I just thought that was kind of funny. A sprite is just a sprite. Okay, but what's like the practical reason that wouldn't be okay? Like, why would you not want your collision detection to be based on the creation of a sprite? Oh, you know what? That actually does make sense. Because there are times in which you don't want everything to be collidable at all times, right? Like in the main menu, right? If you put the main character sprite on the main menu, you don't want to have to worry about like collision shit, like bugging your game out, right? Because you can have other sprites that aren't bullets. Yeah, but that could be like a Boolean value. I understand kind of what you're saying now, and that it's just bad practice, but still. Okay, I think that kind of answers my question. Also, we're not doing that per pixel collision shit, okay? I saw that shit in a tutorial and I'm like, you know what? that isn't worth it. Now, chat, here's a question for you. What happens? A practical use of bullet class is in your game loop. Loop each bullet run and update method to do sprite shit and collider shit. I have no idea what you're trying to say. I am so sorry. So here's a question, chat. Do I want the following in the bullet module? Let's say we have this, like, let's call this the Omega weapon, right? Enemy shoots Omega weapon. It starts as a sprinkle and it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows into a super ball or something like that, right? Would I want that animation to be based in the bullet class or bullet module? Fuck, not the class, module. I think I do, right? So we have our little bullet. Yeah, I would want that baked in. You'd call it Omega weapon, right? And you would shoot out one and it would just grow and grow and grow. So I think I would want that in the bullet module, right? Because the things are going to change. The hitboxes, the collision. The practical use of the bullet class is in your game loop. Each loop bullet runs an update method to do sprite shit and collider shit. Wow, this animated sprite changing the bullet hitbox? Yeah? Would that... I guess you could make that just an attack, right? Where an attack could rotate the kind of bullet it uses. I guess you could do that. That does seem like way too much work, though. I really like this bullet sheet, by the way. It seems like there's like a million... Because all we've been fucking with was this, but like there seems like there's like a ton of like things we could fuck around with. Actually, no, you wouldn't even shoot this attack, would you? This is like an explosion. Oh, that's cute. Dang, I really like this bullet sheet class. Chat. Oh God, beams. Well, you do need your beams. Why are these... Wait. Why are these separate? Why are these separate? Why do you need separate? I'm confused. In fact, why are these even so long? Can't you just like... Wait, these are all like the same. Yeah, why do you need like this, and this when you have like these balls? You just do the same thing, you just stretch them. I guess if you're lazy. Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm getting way off topic here. All right, let's create a bullet. Scammed. All right, so. Boom, boom. Oh, wait, this is Outer Wilds. They had a minimum word count on their sprite sheet. Oh, now here's the problem, chat. No, it's not a problem. All I need to create a bullet is, we don't even need a renderer because we're not rendering the bullet, am I? Hold on. No, I don't even need that. All I'm doing is just creating a bullet, which is just a sprite. So it needs a sprite. Now here's a question, chat. Would I be passing a sprite pointer to this or the sprite? Because all that's gonna come out of this is like a struct. Yes, that is right. It's gonna be a struct. And it's gonna be called bullet. And this bullet is gonna have the information of sprite and sprite. Can I just call it sprite? Sprite S bullet and collision box. Oh, we're gonna have to come back to this, huh? We're gonna need an SDL rect that we're gonna replace as a name later because I know it's not gonna stay like that. And we're gonna call it collision bullet. And then now this is gonna take bullet. Or it could return a bullet. It's not going to take a bullet. It's going to take a sprite and an SDL rect, which is going to be a collision detection shit later. Sprite, we're going to call this local sprite. Local bullet or local collision. And basically we're going to make a bullet that has the sprite and the collision detection. And I think that's what all I care about. Maybe we can have an array SDL rect for the many sizes of the hitbox, but worry about that later. The practical use of the bullet class is to update bullets during the game loop. Example update is the bullets the sprite sheet, change appearance, and collider shit. Yeah, why not call it a sprite sheet? A sprite! You can use identifier visual for the sprite in case you want to store your other sprites for reasons. You can write a constructor for that bullet class. Why? Why would you have constructors for structs? Like structures, like constructors for classes, I get, but why would you want a constructor for a bullet? Like for a struct? Like, wouldn't you just want like, bullet, local bullet dot is, wait, I can just do it as parameters. L sprite, L collision, return L bullet. Is that it? Chat, am I making too many modules? Is that the whole module? Why would you want a constructor for that? They had a minimum word count on their sprite sheet? Oh, maybe. Gary is laughing at my very reasonable suggestion. I don't know. Is that normal? Struct is synonymous for class. Okay, but in this case, why would you have a constructor? You're not I'm okay with that shit oh, yeah, no, that's fine. You're passing the collision as a parameter? Yeah? Why wouldn't you? Yeah, is there bad to that? I guess we can call it sprite then. Because it's not, it's the, whatever. It's a sprite. So later on when we're referencing this, it's whatever. It's snowflake dot sprite and snowflake dot collision. I guess collision is a better word for it, huh? Stopping in from a hectic weekend to cheer you on. Hope your code is flowing. Preox, hello! Gary, why do you need create a bullet if you aren't doing anything? Hitbox? No, the hitbox is the collision rectangle. That's all it is. Like, we feed it. Like, when we create our bullet chat, we feed the information into here about what that collision of that is, you know? Like, that's all this is. Like, I know this seems like a lot, chat, but understand, I'm making a simple game to, like, do this many modules. I'm making a simple game. It's not that complicated to do what I want to do here, right? So, I don't know. I think it's pretty easy. We create a texture that keys out the black. We then make a sprite that's based on that texture, and then now we have a little sprite. The sprite goes through create a bullet when we want that sprite to be a bullet, and then boom. Maybe I should just rename this. Create an object. Maybe that's a better way to do it. And then have like... No, I should have all bullet behavior here, but I feel like this is all we're gonna have for now until we get collision down. And then here... I don't know. Like, I feel like this is everything. Do I even want this to be its own module? Your bullet construction won't ever fail, so the create a bullet is just doing the same thing as a constructor. Don't worry about too many modules. Today can be a code your face off day, creative frenzy, and on the other side of it, you'll understand the design space much better to reorganize your modules if you deem it necessary. I mean, I'm at the point, chat. I'm at the point. This program is at the point now where we could have the most inefficient programming in the world, but it's fine and it'll work okay. In fact, is this even going to run right now? I bet it does. Yeah, look at that. I have a little bullet. Also, chat, I'd like to point out, this is the longest anything ever took to render. That was wild. Hold on. Render that again. Oh, it did it again. Hold on. Oh god, it's optimized. Oops. Gary is learning what a constructor is without learning what a constructor is. Since we're already deep in object-oriented programming, I say let's stick with object-oriented programming. Based. We're gonna learn. Listen, I paid for C++. I'm gonna use the whole meter, baby. Don't make me put a lambda in this shit. The real question, is this module a doodad or is it a gizmo? Wrong. Chat, I thought about making a joke where like I was gonna make fun of rappers in programming by saying, no, it's a rapper like your mom put on me last night. But I couldn't like think of a funnier way to say that, so it just kind of failed. That's why I kind of like brain stunned myself there for a second. Okay, that's it. Wow, that is the most unnecessarily short module ever, but we might add more logic later. So chat, here's a question for you. Okay, what do we do with this? Where am I putting this, I guess is my question. Where am I putting all of this? Because I have the information now to make it. With collision. It's not going to be in the game loop. Okay, I have a question for programmers out there, just out of good practice. Where would I want to put this, like, create all the bullets? Is that going in initialization, I guess? Just export bullet? Oh, you're right. Instead of functional-based programming? Dude, functional-based programming sounds like I would struggle hard as hell with it because it's like void recursion. And then it's like, oh, okay, do the like X, Y, fucking whatever, int X, Y. Imagine it's an int X, Y. So it's like int X, Y, and it's just like for yada yada. And then it's like else fucking recursion fucking self-suck programming. It just sounds like it's like a nightmare to just deal with versus just like object-oriented programming, which is so beautiful and it's so simple and it's so nice and easy to look at. How many bullets do you want in the game world when it starts? I don't know. It's a 2D game, so all of them? Is Gary ready for function composition? Huh? You see the bullet size there. It's bullet position and bullet size. It can be a bullet struct. You see the bullet size there. It's bullet position, bullet size. It can be a bullet struct. So I see bullet location, bullet size. Oh! Are you saying... Well, no, that would go in the sprite. This is sprite information. Right? Yes. This is sprite information. So this is how we grab like where the bullet is on the sprite sheet, you know? So when we run this is like the cutout of the sprite sheet with the alpha out background. So in order to alpha out the back, well, no, that's on the texture. After the background is alpha and it turns into a texture, then we scissor out that bullet. That is the sprite. So that's where this information comes from. That's what we insert into like this sprite object. Okay, so that does not go into bullet. Yeah, object-oriented programming is what I learned too. First too. Oh, really? I feel like an unspoken challenge here is that you're asking the programmers when historically programmers have never agreed on a single thing in their lives. I think you guys agree with each other more than you probably realize. Yeah, you have everybody wanting to push their own language for whatever reason. As the coolest. I get that kind of vibe where it's like, don't learn C++, learn Rust. It's just as low level. I hear that a lot. I also hear I shouldn't be learning C++ because it's too complicated, even though it's frankly not that complicated. Like, once you know something, like, oh, that's how it works, it's, you know, it's not that hard. Why would you want any bullets there when you start the game? Because it's such a small game, you might as well load everything immediately and then just have it be like really fast. You're not going to be creating bullets as you like shoot them, right? You're not going to have it. Yeah, you're not creating enemies right before they like, you know, appear on the screen. Does that make sense? You want the objects to already exist. Not what I'm saying. Well, what are you saying? Why would you want any bullets there when you start the game? Why not create bullets when you shoot them? Because that sounds horribly inefficient. Why don't you just have like bullets, everything being made at the start of the program, and then just shoot out copies of them a million times? Isn't it significantly quicker to just print out a copy of something by reference than like creating the entire object? Like, if we have 1,000 bullets on the screen, chat, I'm not going to recreate the same bullet 1,000 times. 300, 300 is the position of the bullet. 180, 300 is the size of the bullet. Yeah? But that is fine. Am I ever going to want to change the size of the bullet? If I did, it would be sprite level. Yeah, I would just make it a sprite. And I would just have like snowflake small, snowflake medium, snowflake big, and then just make bullets based off of those sprites. Although, wouldn't it be more efficient, I guess, to have one sprite for the whole snowflake like family and then have new bullets based on that same sprite but resized? Maybe that's more efficient. Oh, that is true, isn't it? Plus, this is telling you, this X and Y value here is where it's actually going to be rendered on the screen. So if I have 0, that's what happens, right? Because 0, 0 is the top left corner of the screen. So maybe it is better. Maybe that goes into the attack. Well, do I want every attack to be like defining the size of the bullet? No, I'd rather have that in the bullet itself, right? And then just call the different bullets as I need them. Plus, there's kind of a consistency value to the player, right? You're not going to surprise them with like omega-sized bullets on a whim. It's like there's a communication between you about like what kind of bullets to expect. So it's probably good we don't have like a huge variation. Bullet is just a hitbox and a reference to a sprite. Yeah. Consider creating an alias for every bullet in the sprite sheet and creating an SDL-rect instruction for each one. That way your program will have all of the texture data available for future use. Yeah, that's kind of the plan already, right? We're not gonna have one bullet that changes sprites. We're gonna have different bullets, all with their own collision boxes and everything. If you want efficiency, program around the size of the buffers. I have no idea what you mean by that. So they should go into the bullet class. Yeah, what's up? I think you had the right idea. It's almost like you guys know what you're doing. So you're saying that it's fine for bullet location to be the sprite based, because that is literally telling you the size of the sprite. But bullet size, that's not sprite based. That's just where it gets rendered on the screen and how big. So I guess that could be stripped of anything related to the sprite and just for rendering. Oh, wait. Did we put rendering information on the bullet? Oh, maybe that's what the module needs. Maybe we put rendering information. No, the attack would contain that, right? Like Nova. Like Nova would have like render copy at like 360 divided by how many bullets you want to shoot, like that kind of deal. And on those spaces, render copy the bullet. I guess that information would go in there, huh? If you want efficiency, program around the size of the buffers. You need position and scale too. Maybe you want to have some sort of other composition or inheritance for bullets to be movable. True, I was just talking about given the current struct we have for bullet. Okay, so you guys are saying there's problems, but we're not going to see those problems until we go down the line. Which means I should go down the line and find out those problems on my own. All right. We're going to leave that as is. Let's very quickly, let's make a crude like hero model, and we're going to fuck around with collision. Basically, the idea is we're not going to do movement yet. I just want a bullet to spawn on top of the hero and then insta fail state. That's kind of the goal here, just to like test the collision detection. But to do that, we need to add a module for, we'll call it hero. This module for hero is a primary module. Also, somebody said it earlier, the bullet module doesn't need image because it's not rendering anything, which is based. It also doesn't need SDL. No, it does. It has a rectangle. Fuck. It still runs, right? Okay, based. Boop. Okay, hero. Okay, so this module for hero, what do we need in here? Sounds right. Good luck with the collision detection. I'm heading out. This is lots of fun. Thank you, P. Boyer. I'm looking forward to see you next time. And I'm gonna probably ask you about like what your experience with programming is. Won't be able to test collision until we make bullet movable. No, we can test collision because the program can just have the bullet spawn on the hero. And if it works, it'll like insta destroy the hero, because I can make the hero bigger than the bullet, right? So the idea here is that the hero would just clear itself, right? It won't get rendered again. But if I spawn the hero off the bullet, they both live. That's how we're gonna test like a very crude collision detection. That's not what makes collision detection difficult, by the way. It's checking it every frame. You're gonna be all over the place. What? I understand that collision, just testing if two objects are overlaced with each other for the purposes of collision, that in of itself is easy, right? In a vacuum. What's difficult is if these two things are moving at 60 frames a second and they both cross each other for one frame, can that collision detection you make actually find that easily? That's where it's going to be difficult, but it'll be fun. All right. So we're going to import, we're going to need SDL. I know that. And we're going to import sprites because I need a sprite for the hero. What does sprite need? A texture, a rectangle, and an alpha value. But in order to make the texture, I don't ever want to call texture. Could I do something like... Chat, is this allowed? Can I do that? I guess I can try it right now and just see. Oh my god, that worked. Okay, now that is based. You can, but why? I just wanted to see if it was possible. Even though we're not gonna do it because that means we have to import texture everywhere, and that sounds like a nightmare. So this needs to go in here somehow. We can figure that out later. Import textures. Or I guess, I guess I could just make sprite require, instead of a texture, give it a path. And then that path it can call this with that path in mind. And then just have it solved that way. That might be an easier way. I think that is what I'm gonna do right now. And I am too lazy to do it, but I know that's what I'm gonna do. So we'll hold off on it for later. What is programming besides not putting off the inevitable? Import, nothing. Oh, we're also loading an image right now, sorry. SDL image, just temporarily. Again, we're prototyping, all right, chat? We're prototyping. This is... What are we even exporting here? Create a hero? Hero. I'll just call it hero. What are we doing here? We are... Oops. What does the hero need? The amount of tech debt some projects occur is insane. Is this what we call tech debt? I'll do it later. It's okay, chat. I will do it later. Well, let's create a texture. And it's gonna be based on, oh gosh. I need the renderer. And if I need the renderer, it needs to be app.global renderer, and I can't fucking do it. I guess. How do I give this thing sprite? Do I need the hero to be rendered in the hero module? I think it's just information about the hero, right? It only needs the sprite, so I guess I can just give it an input of sprite. And then we just make a sprite based on that. So copy, paste. We'll call this hero sprite. This is going to create a texture, bullet 1 location, bullet size. For now, we're going to go back to 18 by 30 on bullet size. And this image is going to change to wow.png. A lot of duplicate code here, but bear with me. Hero location, hero size, location on the wow. Oh geez, hold on. Oh god. Where's my programming learning? Hold on, we're gonna grab my face off of this, and I think we can do it. How do I grab the pixels on there? Open with paint. Okay. How do I grab my face off of this fan art? All right, here's what we do. I guess this is a good test to like test a massive like JPEG or PNG. Like I want something like square on it. IMO, you're doing this correctly. You're playing with everything and seeing how it works. You also aren't getting caught up on being perfect. Win-win. Oh, based. The amount of tech. A hero needs a sword, a big gun with 2 drumsticks. No, what I'm thinking is that we have us riding like the cat, right? So we shoot something at it. I don't know what me and Casavia would shoot at him. I'm thinking maybe like, I know for like the bomb, because we're gonna have bombs, right? Bombs to clear out the screen of bullets. It's like classic in Toho's. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna wind up and like slap Casavia on the back of the head as the bomb, and then she's gonna like get really pissed at me, and like steam clouds are gonna like fill up like the screen and like wipe out all the bullets. Like that's how I'm imagining the bomb is gonna be. But I feel like when we're shooting, I'm trying to think about what we're gonna do to like shoot. I don't know yet. I'm thinking Casavia can be like, it's gotta be something with like her hurting me, because the bomb is gonna be me slapping her because I'm riding behind her, right? So how does she like abuse me to shoot enemies? I don't know. I gotta think about that. Just treat it as a sprite sheet. Yeah, cute. All right. So I guess we'll just do a little trial and error here. So come back to paint, close out of that. Thank you. Okay, so hero location is gonna be, we'll say 700 by 200, and we'll make it 200 by 200. I have no idea what this is gonna look like. Hero size is, we'll say 50 by 50. I don't know what this is gonna look like, but let's see it. It didn't render a goddamn thing because I didn't actually print it. Hero is gonna go under this. Hero sprite dot render at location app global renderer with no alpha mod. Go. It appeared black and then nothing else. Interesting. What? Is this collision? No, this is not collision. This is trying to get a hero avatar on the screen. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I didn't update these. That's why. I'm a dumbass. Hero location. Hero size. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, okay, we're getting closer. Now, I'm kind of seeing an artifact there too. So now this is 700. This is going to be, we'll say, why is that so small actually? Is it here? Okay, okay, we're getting closer. Gotta do a little more experimenting. We'll say 400. Okay, okay, getting a little closer. Let's do 600 by 600. Okay, there's Casavia. So now we're gonna move it over to the right to 1,000. You should see my fat smile here. Oh, we're getting closer. Okay, so now make the Y value 500, X value 500, location 500. See if that works. Okay, so now the X value needs to move right to 1400 maybe? Oh, we're close. Okay, okay, okay. Now we just make the box smaller. So the X value is gonna go down to like 300 and the Y value is gonna be 400. There we go. Oh, baby. Now that's a hero graphic if I've ever seen it. There you go. Now, let's make that bigger just for everyone's sake here. We'll do 300 by 300. There we go. Now that's a whose ugly mug is that? Now, the bullet is successfully rendering transparent above me. So that's very good. Everyone's favorite part of anything, graphics, screwing with the numbers until it looks right. Oh yeah, baby. So let's give that bullet a little pride here. Let's Give it a little render. Render size, render location. This 0, 0 needs to be like 50 by 50. There we go. Okay. Okay, so on our 800 screen, we now have a giant ass Gary face with a bullet on it. Okay, so the idea here is we're gonna make a collision detection on this bullet and on this hero graphic. And ideally, what's gonna happen is when collided, delete the hero. That's all we're gonna do for collision detection, which means we need to think about a few things, right? Why not just make it the same size as the SRC rectangle? Because there are gonna be bullets that have a different... Oh wait, are you saying like you wanna make the hero avatar the size of the screen? Oh, where's the fun in that? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to collide them together. So the rectangle that's on the bullet is going to be interacting with the rectangle on the hero, which means we need collision detection on the hero, which means we should make him a bullet. Oh shit. Fuck. Everything's a bullet. It's like League of Legends. Everything's a minion. Wait, I could just make the hero a bullet. So for perspective, is this kind of like a bullet hell? Have you ever seen a Toho game? Yo, am I gonna educate some people? Okay, there's this game called Perfect Cherry Blossom, okay? It's one of the best goddamn games ever made. By best, I mean, I don't actually know. Holy shit. So this game is this. So the idea is that we're gonna be effectively not recreating, but recreating this. We're not gonna have 3 enemies on the screen. Holy shit. But like, that's what I'm thinking, right? Like Nova, Cascade, Heat Seeking, yes, no. Like that's kind of the idea here. And like killing enemies, that's gonna be like the tail end of the project. But like we're making our way there, you know? I was about to suggest something, but I remembered we're not using Noodly. Slide Charge. I thought your name was Slime Charge. No, the hero avatar, the same size as on the sprite sheet? Oh, because no. Okay. So anyway, that's the game we're gonna make. I had a friend in high school who made a shoot 'em up, and his game was really cool since it was targeting vertical displays, so you can make your own cabinet. Oh, seems like that's the way to go. So anyway, now we're gonna need collision detection between the hero sprite and the bullet sprite. Now the question is, do we need a whole separate module for the hero? We must, right? Let's think about this. If we're gonna have a module for the hero, sorry, I'm off camera there. I was closing my eyes and rotating. If we're gonna have the module for the hero, what do we need? I'm in my thinking pose, which is rotating back and forth in my chair slowly. What are we gonna need? We're gonna need to be able to be hit. It is unique to the hero, not to any other collision. So when the hero gets hit, they're gonna be invincible in a way that bullets and enemies aren't. They're gonna be able to shoot bombs. They're gonna be able to shoot bullets on click. But that's easy. That's in fact, that's separate from the hero classes, the whole bullet shooting thing, because that's gonna go in our game loop where it's like mouse event, mouse, or no, SDL event, event type, mouse button down. If that's true, then shoot out bullets from hero position, you know, that kind of deal, right? So it is separate. So we're not testing the ability to shoot. All this is just the actual object of the hero. So I feel like we need to think it's going to be able to shoot bombs. Well, is it? Not necessarily. It's not the object shooting the bomb, it's the player. So that's another event type. That's like on, you know, on right click, you know, shoot the bomb from player position or something like that. Why is hero a void function? Yeah, I'm gonna make you a void function if you keep complaining about my programming. So let me think. What does the hero want? It's just when you're hit, you're invincible for a certain period of time. That does go in here. So hold on. Invincible. Immune after getting hit. What else is unique? Well, separate from event types, there's not much for the hero to actually do, the object, right? All of like where the hero is on the screen, all the mouse events, movement, all that's associated with the game logic, not with the actual like hero. Oh, unique collision box. Health? Is that associated with the hero object? I don't know. Couldn't that be tied to like an observable somewhere else in the program, like score or something? So what you would do is you would have like, maybe like it would request that the observer look at it. I don't know, is it? Well, I'm thinking is that we're gonna have like some observable thing in the program that updates health on the screen or something, or keeps track of it. And whenever the hero gets hit, it puts out like a beacon to be like, hey, I don't know if anyone cares, but I just got hit. Don't you want to like keep track of that? Like it's that kind of, it's like keeping track of high scores, right? I don't think health itself is something the hero object really cares about, you know? Oh, you know what it is? Collecting power-ups. That's something unique to the hero object. So when this object hero comes close to a power-up of some kind, if we even have them, but you know, then it's going to be some certain distance away, collect the power-up. That's unique to the object of hero. You could say the same about invincible frames though. No, because the invincible frames are unique to the object because after you get hit, cause immunity. And I would rather have that baked into the object itself rather than putting a beacon out to the observing force to give something immunity, right? Because an enemy is never going to have like an immunity phase after getting hit. So there's no point in having that like observable process anywhere else in the program. You might as well just have it in hero, you know? I think that's unique. But the act of losing health, because what if we want it to be where the hero can lose health while not getting hit? Like, what if we wanted like a boss that breaks the fourth wall, jumps up into the corner of the screen and like hits your health with a hammer or something like that, and you quote unquote get hit? Would it be easier to have the getting hit part like getting hit with like an invisible bullet or something? Or I think it would be better if that observable force looks at your health bar also getting hit and it puts out a beacon, be like, hey, I just got hit, mark down the player's health. And then it just does that. I feel like that's a healthier way of doing that than like shooting out invisible bullets or something. Like that's how I think it should work, I think. I think that's a better way to do it. Is there much else for the hero object to actually do? It's not going to be tied to movement. It's not going to be tied to shooting anything. Animation. I don't even know if we're going to have animation for our character, but animation would be tied to the actual object of the hero. Or would that be to the sprite? That would be associated with the hero sprite, huh? Maybe not. I don't know. But I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. I think it's associated. Here, we'll put out health. Put out got hit beacon for observable. Something like that. I think that's all the hero's gonna need. Animation, collecting power-ups, unique collision box, immune after getting hit. Is there any sort of like cutscene shit we're gonna need for this? Are we even gonna have cutscenes? I was thinking like, oh, do we need like death shit? animation, on death, etc. Oh, it needs to be able to read health. It needs to be able to read current health because it needs to play different animations. If we do, like, it's like a green box when it's like good, yellow box if you're medium health, red box if you're low, that kind of deal. You need to trigger a menu when you die. Well, that's not going to be associated with the hero like object. That's going to be like the main menu thing. But the idea here is, oh no, sorry, by animation on death, I mean like it goes from a red box to like a red box that falls off the screen, like that kind of red death, that kind of death, right? Animations can come later, but like the building blocks are there, you know? Observer pattern, yeah, I think. Oh, I thought you were listing everything for everything. No, just things associated with the hero like object itself after we make the sprite for it, you know, which is gonna be a square for now. Its hitbox is gonna be a point, like SDL point, so it's just gonna be a 1x1 thing. Trying to think if there's anything else we need to worry about before we start actually making this. There's a lot more to the hero object than I thought there would be, to be honest. I don't want to tie too much to it. Box is not point. Asshole. I almost want to think, chat, do we have to make the collision detection before we make this hero? Because I almost think we should, because a lot of this is like messing around with collision shit, and all this collision on the hero is just going to be a 1x1 point, you know? Don't do a point, just do a rectangle. Well, no, we do want a literal point, Lucas. It's like a literal point on the character. I just want a 1x1 hitbox. Like, that is the use of the point in this case. It's also probably going to make the collision a lot easier. Oh, no, it's not, because there's enemies. It's going to make the collision for the hero a lot easier because you're only testing if a rectangle is over a point, you know? What? This game's going to be super easy if the hero has 1 pixel collision? Boy! Toho ain't easy, and that shit's got 1 pixel collision. What if you change your mind later? We'll just make a whole new video game. Listen, chat, I'm gonna be honest, okay? Every single one of you could make this video game in like 1 afternoon, okay? Let's not act like this is something that we're stuck with for all time. Yes, Toho has just 1 point for the hero. Yep. I can't imagine us ever wanting to change that, chat. That's a pretty hard and fast rule. Do you know just how many bullets there are on the screen at one time? Yeah, like 1,000. All right, I think we start. So, where do we start here? So this is already gonna have the sprite information in there. So we have that. So now, oh, we're not tying movement to this either, right? Hold on, are we tying movement to the hero object? Yes. We should do that. That's way more important. Okay, fuck this. This needs movement. Because that is that gonna be tied to the hero object, or is that gonna be mouse event type? No, it must be tied to the object, because when we like press the D key on keyboard event D, move character right. But what does the move character right even mean? Am I really going to want to define that in game loop? I think I'd rather just define that in hero. That is going to be defined in here, isn't it? Imagine not being able to dodge when you're literally just 1 pixel. Exactly. The whole time I thought Toho was hard. Oh, it's that easy, huh? But no, it also frees us to have like a bigger like hero, like a bigger like object on the bottom of the screen. Because if it's only 1 point in the center of the object, then like you can have a kind of bigger sprite for it, you know? You don't fall into the mistake a lot of Tohos do, a lot of shoot 'em ups do, where like the hero sprite is like really, really, really tiny on the screen. It's like the size of this bullet or something, and you can't even see what the fuck you're going or where you are. Whereas if it's just 1 pixel, you know. Chat, I don't like how there's like red in my eyes. It looks like I'm high. Doesn't it? The artifacting is looking like I am just baked AF. I don't even like drugs. I'm straight edge, boy. What resolution Toho game played at? I'm guessing it played depends on the total area. It's pretty small, but the viewport is already like only half of it. I don't think this game's gonna have a viewport. I think it's just gonna play it like the size of like this resolution, basically. Which isn't even that big. In fact, if you look at my whole desktop, you guys see like a zoomed in look right now. Hold on. If you look at my whole desktop, like, this is pretty small, right? Like, it's not gonna be that big. I kind of want to make the screen like even larger, like down here, but I can change that all later. There's nothing tied to the resolution right now. No, if the bottom of your eye was entirely red, then you would be high. I don't know. Shows you what I know about drugs. What resolution Toho game played at? I don't know. Like 200 by 200? The game's so fucking old. All right. Chat, I don't want to do movement yet. Let's do a unique collision point. Let's do that. So SDL point collision point. We're going to define that as... Ooh, how do we tie that to the rectangle? Sprite dot... The sprite needs a resolution, right? The sprite needs a rectangle, sprite cutout. So it's input sprite cutout divided by 2. Input sprite cutout divided by 2. No, wait. Hold on. How the fuck do I do this? So we have the sprite here that we're gonna be... Oh, I didn't call it anything. That's why. Path. Path dot... Render? Oh, fuck that. Input... Oh, wait. No, that's not what we're inputting. It's M. Right. So M sprite size underscore. M underscore sprite size underscore dot width. Oh no, it's even more generic than that. It's SDL rectangle W. Oh God, am I doing this right? There's 2 SDL rectangles though. Dot W, and then it's also going to take that divided by 2. And then it's like path dot SDL rect dot height divided by 2. Like that's going to be the point. And I don't know how to define these. Bro, why is sprite called path? I don't know. I just like to do that for like transferred variables. Depends on the game. Toho 7, Perfect Cherry Blossom, uses 960 by 720. Oh my god, should that be the resolution of my game? Oh, baby. What did you guys say? 960 by 720. Now that's based. What's that gonna look like? Oh god, I fucked something up. Hero, that's why. So how do I grab... Under sprite, we are exporting this class. This. Where do I get this information from? Should I have another function here that gives me half of whatever size, half by whatever size. So like SDL point hero collision point. And then this is going to be a SDL rect local X value SDL rect. Oh, just local rect. And then something like L rect. Fuck. SDL point. Local point. Local point dot X is going to be equal to L rect dot W divided by 2. Local point dot Y is equal to local rect dot height divided by 2. Now we have that function we can export, which because this whole thing is exported. So now we have, instead of all this, fuck that, this is going to be equal to path dot hero collision point. Why doesn't that work? Why doesn't that go? I thought I could get away with that. Why does Sprite concern itself with Hero? What's the game about? Oh, this is a shoot 'em up. It's a little, have you ever seen Toho, Perfect Cherry Blossom? It's gonna be like that. But right now we're having issues getting this out. Gary's OOP basics is still weak? What? So this is stupid then. Okay, fine. We'll go back to the hero class. How the fuck do you get the hero? Okay, so with just the sprite path, we have a rectangle. How do we get that rectangles dot W? Oh, wait, duh, I can just do the same thing here. So this is a collision point dot X is equal to path dot, but only render is available. Why don't I have an option to, why don't I have an option to do more? Like, can I really not get the X value? Because all the X and Y point is just the very center of the sprite. Why is hero a function? Should it be a class? All right, you son of a bitch. There you go. Which means now we need, well, we have sprites. We have a collision point. We're gonna, oh, chat, I wanted to make it a function because we could just import the thing. Yazer Furgenburr. I just got an ad for Taco Bell. Oh, based. I never play ads. Sorry, you get one when you start the stream, and don't worry, you will never get one again for the rest of the stream. Unless you click off, in which case, get fucked. I'll have you know, I make 5 cents a day on ads, all right? After a year, that pays for like 1 coffee. Although that's not fair. I stream every day, 5 cents a day. Every month I make $1.50. After a year, I would make, what's $1.50 times 12? $18. That's like 3 coffees, okay? That's like 3 coffees a year, all right? Get out of my town, all right? No parentheses after class name. Now that is a based piece of advice. Well, we're making this a class then, huh? So we do need a collision point, but how do I define the collision? Well, do I need to define it? I mean, it's gonna be the center of the sprite. So maybe I do all of the math for this over there. I think that is what we're gonna do. So copy, paste. Oops. Okay, that's gonna go there. And then we take this, copy, paste. So that'll do that. Now, how do we do this? Wait, why is this not working now? Oh God. Oh, I need to save it, duh. Why is that not working now? Gary, play ads so subs can feel more elite. No, if you subscribe to me, you do like the content, because boy, oh boy, you get no other benefits. Even on the Discord, you guys can have the same rights as everyone else. SDL doesn't have a size type? Well, yeah, we could just make that a rectangle based on the whole... Oh! We define it here. Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay, well, that makes it easier. So we still have troubles with the texture, but let's collision point. The collision point is now equal to the values of hero size dot width divided by 2. Well, that solves that problem. Dot height divided by 2. So now we have a collision point that is based solely on the center of the image. So that solves that problem. Now, how do we grab this texture function? Why isn't this working? Expected a wait, what? Const character path. Also, that's cute. If you highlight, I didn't even know you could do that. If you highlight the thing you're highlighting here and you go to the module that has it, it highlights the same path. That is incredible. Didn't even know you could do that. That's cool as shit. Are we all dancing Garys? Chat, I don't like the dancing emote that much. Chat, it's too fast. You would typically need to implement collision detection algorithms or techniques specific to your application or problem domain. This would involve checking for overlapping bounding boxes, performing geometric collisions. Well, collision detection is going to be pretty easy in our case because it's a top-down shooter, right? So I'm just imagining collision detection to be like this, okay? So this is our box. This is the first box. This is the second box. What we do is we have rectangles on here and here, and then a rectangle here and here. And basically, if any of these are overlapping at any time with hero object, if this is like the hero, this is the enemy or something, if any of them are ever colliding, like in this area here and this area here, or this area here and this area here, then what that tells my collision detector is like, hey, one of these rectangles are overlapping with the other, or two of them are overlapping. That means that there's collision, do the thing. Like, that's how I'm imagining this collision engine for us gonna create to work. But I don't know if that's like the bubble sort of collision detection, in which case I'm just dumbass. Gary, you need to get better at drawing diagrams. I don't know. You should write a constructor hero. Why do I want a constructor? Chat, we don't need to make more than one hero. I'm imagining a constructor being good for like if you need like 100 of something, like a bullet. Like if we're making a hero, we can just define everything we know about the hero. We don't need to like a constructor. Anyway, so this is, I'm imagining this, our collision detection to work. Again, I don't know if this is like the bubble sort of collision detection, but like that, I can't imagine anything simpler than this, you know? So it'll have like rectangles like looking out for these values. Scrap all of your plans, make an MMORPG. I know what you should do. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna be scope in line. We're not doing any scope creep, all right? Okay, sprites. Why is my hero class not reading the texture module? We are importing it. It's not reading that, and it's not reading this text, but it should be a which means it's not reading this texture, which is interesting. It is reading. Oh wait, am I missing a parentheses? Parentheses 1 is there. Parentheses 2 is here. Write a private constructor then? Oh yeah, private constructor. I'm gonna wait until you run out of options and started to touch global variables. What? What? I'm not touching any global variables. What the fuck? So you're saying that I should have a hero constructor where I define the sprite in the constructor? That sounds like... Oh, chat. Is there such a thing as a line that's too big? Is that like a thing? Because if we're having a sprite in a constructor for hero, I need to define all this shit, which you guys don't even see anymore. That tells me it's the line's too long. And then I need to define like 4 different other things. Why? Why would you have a constructor for something you're only ever gonna have one of? The point of a constructor is to make a bunch of something really quickly. Just use ChatGPT to fix your problems. Well, we gotta learn first. I'm not gonna rely on AI to like tutor me on something I need to know on my own, you know? Why isn't this even seeing this? It should work. Renderer. We have the renderer. I'm importing. Oh, I didn't import initialization. Well, we don't have a renderer. Hey. Okay, we still don't have global renderer though. Fuck. Okay, wait, stop. I have a plan. I don't have a plan. Oh, fuck. The struct for hero is going to be... Oh, God. That's not the point of the constructor. Who told you that? A constructor just tells you how to make an instance of a class. Why is hero uploading a texture now? It's not uploading a texture. It's making a texture. And that's only because I just need the collision point. And that's only because... Fuck. We're also going to define these chat. Like, these two should be in there. And if I have the hero size... The hero location is going to change all the time, I guess. But like if I have the hero size here and I base my collision on that size, like I might as well just grab the sprite, right? I'm only ever going to need one or more certain hero sprites, right? I'm not actually rendering anything. I'm just grabbing them. And it's not like we're recreating hero every frame, so it's not like it's inefficient. I don't know where else I would load the texture. Where else would I load the sprite and texture for hero? Create a texture, upload texture in main or in game loop. Create a texture, which is this. Upload a texture? How? So you're saying in initialization, create the textures. Okay, I get that. But that doesn't mean anything. Unless you're saying like make a whole separate function for it, like export, you know, create a texture. But at that point, why not just have the texture thing here? Yeah, because I mean, even if you do it initialization and you upload it, whatever that means, I mean, are you saying stick it in like the application struct? Is that what you're saying? So we would have all the textures in the application struct and then just return that. I mean, I guess we could have a class hero where the constructor asks for application dot, I don't want the renderer, something like that, and we just have the struct hero sprite or something like that, and that's what we call out and just require it on the constructor for hero. Yes, stick the textures in there. I mean, at that point, is that not just a global? I guess not, because you are only taking part of it. It does just pass the created texture to the hero class. You guys, the pass part is the hard part. I mean, I guess we could do that. I mean, it kind of feels just like we're using globals, but whatever. This is gonna be an SDL. No, this is gonna end up being a sprite, which means I need to upload sprites and textures into initialization. Oh God. Okay, wait. Can I get away? Can I get away from game loop having anything to do with sprites or textures? And I think the answer is yes. Because the only thing this cares about are the sprites. Does it need sprites in order to do that? No. Because it doesn't care about the sprites. It cares about the ability to use bullets in the hero and all that. And if that's the case, we just need to import initialization then, because that'll have all the sprite information if we even needed it. Hero takes sprite. Wait, why? We don't need this anymore though, do we? Because the sprite is going to be in here. So this needs to import sprite. This needs to import textures. So now we have create, no, we have that whole line. Here. That's what you guys are telling me? And then we have all that shit in here? Create, or here with this, load all textures. Like that? And then just make this all go into the struct by defining application and everything? Well, no. Because it needs to return that. No, I can't do this. Because it's going to, although I guess I could just put it in here, but it needs to actually load that information into application. So are we really giving it 3 different things? No, I'm not. I'm just giving it hero sprite. Huh? Oh no, oh no, Gary, what the fuck, no! Ah! No, app doesn't just store sprites, it stores textures. We just said load the texture, not the sprite? What? Okay, what are you guys saying? Are you guys high? So this doesn't go there. You're saying the texture, like this, needs to go there. Okay. Like this did. So this whole thing Well, we already have it with here, right? So this is also going to take an SDL texture pointer, bullet sprite sheet, and then this is going to be returning bullet sprite sheet. Okay, so now that's going to go here. App dot bullet sprite sheet. Oh, it still doesn't work. Oh, there we go. So now it'll load that. So that's what you're saying I should do for all textures? He inlined the load texture with creating sprite, so now he thinks it's one unit. Gary's about to add public static hero get instance to hero. Oh, now load hero texture right there as well. I can give you code. No, I'd rather you just tell me in chat and then I can just ignore you like everyone else. The relationship between hero class, I say that with love, by the way. Here, the relationship between hero class and sprite class would depend on the design and the requirements of your game. It's possible for the hero class to have a member variable of type sprite. If the hero needs to have a visual representation, or if the sprite contains relevant information for the hero. No, the sprite doesn't contain any relevant information for the hero. I lied, I'm sorry. No, I didn't lie, I'm correct. I need to be confident. The sprite doesn't contain any information for the hero outside of giving the hero its collision point, because the collision point is always going to be the very center pixel of the hero, whatever it looks like, right? So the only sprite information that matters as much as it does is the X and Y value of the sprite. But I don't necessarily need that information just in any other context, just like where the collision point is. But the rest of it, the texture, the image, that shouldn't be coupled to hero, because hero doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care. So I guess this makes sense now, because now we can construct the hero based on the sprite here. And then we can make it equal to whatever this is going to be defined as. And then... wait, do I care? Yes, I do care. Because then we just have that information. So now we're going to copy this. Or do we just want the texture, I guess? SDL, texture, pointer... heroes, local hero sprite equals hero, it needs to be this. Wait, do I want that in initialization? All I care about is just loading the texture, but the texture takes care of that. Wait, no, this doesn't solve my problem. Oh God, no, this is a terrible thing, because now there's no alpha. This only has the information for the raw image, not that it actually has any alpha. So the initialization is the one that needs to call that. So this should actually be this. Except this replaces this, and this all gets deleted. Like that. So that's where we're getting it from. Then this uses the local renderer. So now we have that. Okay, sweet. There. That's how that should work. What is that font called? For a second, I thought I was sleep deprived and I can't see correctly. Woozoo time! It is ink free, bold. Font size 10, and it's based, isn't it? Read? You should probably avoid naming things that aren't sprites. Well, that is a sprite now, because create a texture is not a sprite. Bullet sheet texture local. Call it that. Maybe that'll make people a little more happy. I say that, but I mean, you guys are right. Then this will be bullet sheet texture. Okay, that takes care of that. This is all correct. Don't worry about the red squigglies. They're correct. This needs to be defined as this, but as wow.png. Should be wow.png. And then we define a new thing as SDL texture pointer hero texture. Now this will also take L hero texture. There. So now we have a local bullet sheet texture and local hero texture that are going to be exported as a struct in application. Now hero is going to take that hero texture. And then we're going to take that hero texture and we're going to create a texture with it here. We don't need it anymore because now we can define this as hero texture. Okay. I don't know if this was the stupidest way to do things. And there's a better way to do this, but we fucking did it. Hero texture. We're going to call this input texture. Input hero texture. Input hero texture is equal to input hero texture semicolon. Chat, there is no shot this is going to render correctly. Chat, why is my computer like super hot right now? Why are the fans like blowing really hard? The hell? This is like the loudest I've heard it. Hold on, is there smoke coming out of it? Hold on. My PC is like getting really hot all of a sudden. I mean, it's not hot, but it's like if I put my nose right over it, it smells like heat, and I just don't know why that's so hot all of a sudden. It's from rendering those 10,000 bananas? Yeah, I guess. That was weird. Can you guys hear it? No, you can't. There's no audio input. It's just really loud all of a sudden. Sorry, I'm just looking at my computer as I'm like phasing off there. My bad. An instance of hero shouldn't touch application, but we're getting the textures from it, right? This abomination is called ink free. Wrong. It's the correct. It's the based font. All right. Hero sprite address of sprite underscore equals sprite. You need to create sprites in game loop. Maybe not the best place, but we'll worry about that later. Chat, just level with me. Should I just have a loading module where I can load all of the textures and shit? Are we to that point? Like, instead of having game loop call all this shit, we have like a loading screen and it just loads all the textures and shit. This is like, seems to be a pain point. Why don't I want the class hero to create the texture? Or create, not the texture, I'm sorry, to create the sprite. Is that just bad practice? Because we're only gonna have one hero. That's what initialization is supposed to be for. Hero depends on sprite, not the texture. Sprite depends on texture. Okay. So you're saying we don't even have this. This will go into the game logic for now. That information. Okay. Which means this information also goes in the game loop. This hero texture is app.hero texture. I think we called it that. Yes, we did. So now this doesn't need any of this shit. It will, however, take, what do we call it? Texture. Oh, wait. We called it hero sprite. So now we're going to have, in order to make a hero, it uses some sprite. So sprite, hero sprite, input hero sprite. And then we're going to make it equal to hero sprite. And then now, because we have the sprite information, does that work? There's no shot this works. Cyclic build dependency detected. Initialization depends on textures, depends on initialization. What? Chat, you fucked me. Chat, look, you made me, this is like incest. I have modules like blowing, like fucking children modules. Chat, you fucked me. You fucked yourself? Wait, why are you taking everything out of hero just because you initialized it somewhere else? Because that's what that means? Hero size while true? What? You fucked yourself? Ah. Okay. Okay, chat. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, I need to sleep on this, all right? We need to come back to this. I'm gonna come in. I have a ton of time at work tomorrow because our order got delayed again because of snow. I keep up with my FedEx orders I order from our pharmacy. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a bunch of research about fucking games and loading textures and all that shit. And like where they load them and how they load loading screens and everything, because I need real world examples. And that's what I'm gonna do. What language is this? C++ 23, as you can see in very bright green letters on the left side of the screen. But that's okay. Also, below my fat head is SDL2, but we'll ignore that. Yeah, because I gotta figure out what's fucking me right now are these textures. Like, I'm figuring out, like, getting textures loaded and then moved to where they need to be is pretty difficult. That's not what that means, Gary. It just means you need a constructor. The visual part of games is freaking hard. Yeah. Remove import initialization texture from hero. Nested while loop is mad. What, this? No, it's not. It's while quit equals false, which is this Boolean. So basically, when quit equals true, quit the while loop. Then we have while poll event is greater than 0. Basically, whenever there's something that happens in the game, like a click or a mouse moves or a key gets pressed or you do anything in the game, you move your mouse. This SDL poll event pool like picks up, and this and as long as that is greater than 0, then do whatever's inside, which if that event type that you filled it up with is quitting the program, so you press the red X on the top right of the program, then you quit out of the while loop. And if you don't do that, if you don't have any sort of input, then, you know, render this on the screen. That's all that's going on there. That's it. Oh yeah, it actually makes sense. Nested while loops are still mad though. Is it? I don't think it's that mad. It's only, well, we get away with it here because that SDL poll event is literally just, if there's anything that happens, read the input. That's all that means. It makes sense there, admittedly. Anything else you cooking? I don't know. Is there? I was about to say he gets away with it there, but he read my mind. I know what I'm doing. There's a method to my madness. I mean, is it any worse than nested for loops? Yeah, nested lambdas. What the fuck? It'd be polling events. All right, you guys are distracting me. Listen, all right, tomorrow, remember, I stream every single day, 4:30 p.m. PST, PDT. I don't know which one we're in right now. Chat, why is this unloading my project? Oh God, is that why my computer is like burning up right now? Wait, this can crash? The fuck? Oh God, chat, hold on. Task manager to the rescue. End task. There we go. Sweet. Anyway. Oh, I got new backgrounds. All right, lambdas in C++ means a completely different thing. Nested lambdas aren't bad in some cases. Nested lambdas, oh shit. Anime, no, it's not anime. It's Hatsune Miku. Know your shit, chat. Jesus Christ. This is not anime. This is very famous VTuber cutting her hair in the morning. Okay, you guys gotta know your shit when it comes to your Japanese properties. I'm not a weeb. But yeah, I have a whole new nest of wallpapers. I just thought that was pretty cool. All right, everyone, have a good night. Have a good evening. What are you guys doing up in the corner? Don't hide from me. I know what you people want. Come here. Give me that goodbye lick. Chat, why is... What's this in the corner of the stream? What is that over there? Wait, what the fuck? How? Wait, what is that? Hold on. How? Huh? I know it's my taskbar. How do you guys see that? I am so confused. I need to restart my computer. It's gonna blow up. All right, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Give me that goodbye like. You're tasting tasty today, chat. Goodbye.